Hello, Len Crawford here again. Friday, February 5th. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, thanks so much for watching my videos. Appreciate you logging in again. So, hey, real quick, last time I had a question. I said, ABB PowerFlex Drive, where is it made? Who makes it for Allen Bradley? So, Dan Rome, congratulations. Dentech Industrial, Denver, PA. You are the winner. The mug and the t-shirt are headed out to you. Real quick, so the answer to the question is, where is the drive made and who makes it? So Delta is the manufacturer of the PowerFlex family of drives for Rockwell Automation. So the question is, where is it made? It is made, as you can tell on the side of the box, so it says made in China, Wuhan, Providence. So Dan, thanks so much. Hey, follow-up question. Can anyone else tell me something else made in Wuhan? Does anybody have a question? Anybody have an answer? I don't think it's too hard. Hey, thanks again for logging in. As I said, I'm here at Bay Design, Baltimore, Maryland. So Bay Design, I've worked with them for about 20 years. They've been in business for over 25 years. They are a manufacturer and custom integrator of conveying systems, material handling, packaging systems. So I'm going to show you a couple quick videos of some of the machines that they've built. Let's see, right here, number one. So this is for a custom manufacturer of wood trim, engineered flooring. So as you can imagine, long boards, long pieces of wood that need to be securely packaged in a cardboard container, need to be strapped, put together. So that could obviously present some serious challenges for engineering. How do we ship these things without getting the product damaged? So Bay Design is really unique in the fact that they have complete 100% electrical and mechanical in-house design capabilities. As you saw in the background here, they have their own metal fab shop, machining, sheet metal benders, all kinds of machining tools. And then obviously they can send it out for powder coat and all the finesses. So in this application, you can imagine the boards are loaded onto the input feed conveyor. The machine then takes the boards inside, straps them, packages them, and sends them on their way. Second application, let's take a look. This is a depalletization machine. So imagine you have a pallet, slip sheets, bottles on board. So it basically can both palletize or depalletize. So it can accumulate and stack pallets and move product in and out. Here, a recycling application, you can imagine milk bottles, Clorox bottles, large plastic bottles need to be compacted, pushed down such that they can be fed into a machine that would shred them and then be used for reprocessing and then recycling eventually. And then finally, the last application I want to show here, this is really complex. This is a really neat machine. This is overhead gantry system where it holds motorcycle assemblies. And as the motorcycles are being assembled, manufactured at the plant, this slowly moves down the process and then helps index the operators as to what the next step is within the phase of the machine. So thanks again, Bay Design, for allowing me to be here. And I think the thing I really want to point out is I've worked with these guys for a long period of time, great engineering capabilities. And the other thing too, if you're a control systems integrator and you're looking for mechanical capabilities, absolutely happy to work with you on the mechanical design. You can build your own panels, do the startup programming, just a very flexible company right here in Baltimore, Maryland. So let's go. Today, I want to talk about EthernetIP out of an IDEC PLC with a couple of remote devices. So I'm going to hold up this little demo right here. IDEC FC6A PLC. Bottom port 2. This is my EthernetIP port. Going over to an Ethernet switch. And then I have here Weidmuller URemote, EthernetIP. And then finally, back here, I got the Schmersel safety controller. So let me bring up the diagram real quick, and then I can talk specifically about this. So here's the diagram of what I just showed. IDEC FC6A PLC. We're all on an IP subnet of 192.168.1. And you can see the controller connects to the Ethernet switch, and then it goes over to the Weidmuller URemote. The Weidmuller URemote is pretty easy to configure. There's obviously many types of I/O that you can put within that controller or within that remote I/O, from digital, analog, counter, RTD, power quality modules. But the one that you might not be familiar with, I'm going to point it out here real briefly, behind me, is the Schmersel PSC1 safety controller. The PSC1 safety controller, you can see it's about 3 inches wide, 4 inches tall. Quite a few different options. You can add I/O to it for OSSD inputs, OSSD outputs, digital inputs from dry contacts of like emergency stop circuit, obviously light curtain, zone scanners, all that sort of thing. The neat thing about this one is has an encoder input for safe speed monitoring. So you can imagine if you have a servo application, you want to monitor encoder pulses to make sure that the machine is slowing down properly. Obviously, it's available with and without. You obviously see a bunch of Ethernet ports. You can get it with or without. So EthernetIP, Profinet, EtherCAT's coming available. And you can see within this demo case. So if you ever want to borrow this, try it out. Happy to lend it out. And you can see here. So we have an encoder with a motor. I have a start channel. I have a release with a safety interlock. Some other devices. Pretty neat. So let me show you how this is configured through. I can't share my screen with you, so what I'm going to do is show you some screenshots. Let me move along here and bring up the first screen. So here is the IDEC FC6A PLC screen. Here, all I'm doing is going to port 2. From here, at the bottom of the screen, you can see EthernetIP. I'm going to enable the EthernetIP, and that will launch my EthernetIP setup wizard. From in here, you can see I have my Schmerzel device setup, my PSC1. Now, I typed these words in, Schmerzel, so they are coming out with the next revision of the software. You can load the EDS file and it'll all pre-populate. Here I've typed it in and assigned the IP addresses. So if I was to click on one of the specifics, now in the first case here, this is the Schmerzel setup wizard. I read the manual and it says that this safety controller has 128 bytes of data on the input and 4 bytes on the output. This is the most important thing you need to know about the IDEC PLC. It operates in words. So because it's words, instead of 128, I put in there 64. And then you can see the same I did for the output. Let me move along to the Weidmuller URemote. Weidmuller URemote is a lot easier to work with just because the online web page actually gives you all of the data that you need. Here, you can see I know exactly my input and output words and the instances because the very next screen I'm going to go to is the web server for the Weidmuller URemote. So I stack my I/O on, and then I would click on the bus coupler. The very next screen, once you click up the bus coupler, actually tells you instances 101, 102. And again, these are bytes. So I see 12 input bytes and 2 output bytes. So 6 and 1, right? So that's what I loaded into my Weidmuller URemote. And once I did that, very, very simple to set these up. Next thing you know, I could look at a batch file within the IDEC PLC. So the batch file is basically saying I'm looking at all my data registers. Anything that's changing is going to be green. Anything that's being monitored, green. From here, now I could read the manual, but I just wanted to verify it shows up in the I/O. And then once I did, I set up tags. And here is a custom view of my tag names off on the left. You can then see the data register they're logged to, and then the values in current value. So you can see them switch as they go through the system. Really happy with the way the IDEC PLC communicates over EthernetIP. I know it's not for everyone. Certainly there's going to be special applications, but I got to tell you, if you have a spec for EthernetIP, you're looking for some I/O, some safety controllers, I think the Schneider processor just switched over its standard communication to EthernetIP as well. So this is certainly, there's going to be more and more of this. Highly recommend it. And I want to stress to you, if anybody wants to see the demo, how this works, I'm happy to send you the code. I have a white paper set up. I would tell you, setting up the Ethernet processor or the IDEC processor over EthernetIP, I can configure as much I/O as you want, 10 minutes maybe. I mean, extremely fast. As fast as RS Logic's Studio 5000. Very, very quick. The Schmerzel, again, I don't have a web page to show you. It is very easy to set up, but I would just refer to the manual to give me the amount of data for the input and output. After that, the manual tells you exactly where all the bytes are, because I think there's a lot of anxiety of you have all this data coming in, it's being buffered. What does anything mean? I can promise you, very, very simple to do. I could show it to you very, very quickly, and of course, offer the collateral so you can try it out. Thanks so much for watching. I apologize that this video was long. It's a lot to cover in a quick amount of time. And please continue to send your feedback and have a great day. Take care.